first thing first, thank you guys for sticking around and for attending the session so far. And I give you again a big welcome into our panel for today. The panel is all about brand innovation and its impact on business growth. And just to, before moving on, I would like to present myself first. I am Daratush Ghani. As Sana mentioned, I'm the head of marketing at AGC 99, also the marketing lead at Brand Excellence. Moreover, I'm a customer success manager at Wigo, which is a mobility tech startup. And more importantly of all of these is I have the privilege of serving as your host and facilitator in this enlightening conversation. Together, we will explore the fascinating and ever-evolving topic of measure of impact, the measure the impact of brand innovation on business growth, and we will discuss all about innovation and how it drives business into, achieving the growth that it needs. Of course, moreover, is to also measure that impact. So before we dive into the heart of our discussion, I would love to introduce our esteemed panelists. Each of them bring in a unique perspective and a word of knowledge to the table. Firstly, I would like to, we have with us Ms. Siham Malek, a highly accomplished market research expert with over two decades of invaluable experience, currently serving as the Managing Director of Integrate, a subsidiary of Kantar. Ms. Siham's exceptional leadership has propelled the company to a position of eminence in market research across Africa. She is a dedicated and mostly dedicated to her client success that has extended the brand African Initiative to Morocco. Ms. Siham also, by the way, shares her insights through various publications and hosts her own engaging LinkedIn live series that's titled Data, the New Oil, which is, I must say, amazing. So please join me in extending a warm welcome to Ms. Siham to the stage. So, Ms. Siham, welcome to the stage.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here with you tonight.
We
I'm
are
looking
very
forward
happy
to
as
the
well
discussion.
to have you with us. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation and being here. Moving forward, we have next with us Ms. Habiba Benjelloun, a dynamic CEO and a founder with a wealth of experience in brand innovation. Ms. Habiba began her journey with Coca-Cola in France in 2005, where she gained valuable expertise as a product manager. Throughout her career, she has worked with renowned international organizations such as KFC, Fromage Ribelle, Intralot, and Pernod Ricard. And finally, she was the CMO of Avito. And currently, she leads her own marketing agency, DNA, a digital nomads agency, where she assists clients in crafting comprehensive digital strategies. And let's give her a warm round of applause to Ms. Habiba and welcome her to the stage. Ms. Habiba, welcome to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. Very happy to be among you tonight.
Likewise, Ms. Habiba, we are very happy to have you with us. And finally, and last but not least, again, we have Ms. Sanaa Harmach. Like us, معكم. She just was here. So to present her again, Ms. Sanaa, she's a versatile, experienced professional in the field of branding and product management. Ms. Sanaa serves as Chief Operating Officer at Agency 99, our agency, a prominent branding studio, and also holds the position of Product Manager at Wigo, which is a leading tech mobility startup. Her journey has been marked by a vision to empower brands in the EMEA region, enabling them to create lasting impact through meaningful connections with their audiences. So let's give her a warm welcome once again to the stage. Ms. Sanaa, welcome to the stage.
Hello Derar, hello Siham, hello Habiba. So happy
Hello.
to be here. I guess I'm a familiar face so far. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to have you all three of you with us. This is a powering session. It's going to be again about measuring the impact of brand innovation on business growth, and it is led by women. And I'm sure that this is a very empowering session for all the ladies attending the session. So we're gonna be diving in it, few. So moving forward, and as we go further, let's dive into the heart of our discussion. As I said already, today we will explore the fascinating topic of measuring the impact of brand innovation on business growth. And as you know, nowadays, it's crucial for companies to not only innovate, but also quantify the results of their creative endeavors. We will discuss how the brand actually innovates and how they actually can, through that, drive business growth and explore effective methods of how they can measure it. So without further ado, let's begin with our opening question addressed to all panelists, which is as follows. In today's competitive landscape, how does brand innovation drive, actually, I can see screen. How can brand innovation directly drive business growth? And I'm gonna leave the space to Miss Siham if she can jump on this question.
Yeah, well, basically, I want to start with just setting the context. As we know, today we're living in a very disruptive world, an era where the change has become the norm. Actually, with the turn of the century, volatility returned, starting from 2008, when was the financial crisis, and this actual pandemic where we just got out of the inflation, the Ukraine war are just small foretastes of this future that is waiting for us. So we need to expect, we should expect to be disrupted all the time. So that's going to be the norm. And so basically, and as at Contact, as you know, we work a lot with brands. We work a lot at measuring the impact of different, actions of brands, etc. And we have databases, we have historical data, and we were able to analyze those historical data. And actually, between the period of 2008 and 2011, where the financial crisis was at its, peak, we have found out that the brands that launched, or the brands launched 60 more significant innovations than the brands that succeeded launched 60 more percent more innovations than the brands than the competition or the brands that didn't. And another measure we have, which is the Brand Z, and the Brand Z is a database of a study we do every year globally, globally in mainly in big markets about brands, where we give value to a brand. So basically, this is a database that is even used when, like, let's say someone wants to buy a new brand, the company wants to buy a new brand, they will be looking at this kind of databases, because it doesn't only take in consideration the financial situation or the financial performance of the enterprise, but it also takes in consideration its brand equity and its brand value. And on this database, what we have found is that the brands that innovate, they can grow 7 more times more than those that do not innovate. So the impact of innovation is quite clear based on factual data that we have.
Amazing, amazing. Actually, I wouldn't agree more with what you said. I mean, you have insights are based on data, and I mean, it is very clear that after the pandemic, everything was about coming back again to the scene and trying to do more innovations moving forward. And before moving forward, I would love to give space to Miss Habiba to add any points to that question.
Yes, well, as Siham said, we are in a period where things are evolving very fast and in a very competitive landscape. The only way I think a brand can keep growing is by innovation. A brand is a great asset, not only for customers, but also for partnerships and bringing investors. Uh, because today we need more investment and more partnerships. And a brand that innovates innovation allows to stand out from competition. Innovation enable also to suggest very different, unique value proposition. So not doing things and also listening to the customers, because today we cannot just offer something that is not coming from customers' insights and customers' trends. We constantly need to show our customers that we are listening to them and to their expectation. So innovation is really one important, let's say, strategy that we all companies have to have and to develop their brand based on these innovations. So it enables to gain market shares, to gain more loyalty of their customers, and to strengthen their equity and reputation. Innovation is really key. Brands that don't innovate will be the one that will don't succeed or don't grow. I mean, if you don't innovate, you cannot grow. It's in the opposites. We really need innovation today for that.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, for businesses to grow, to stay in the market, they have to put forward, to push forward, and to keep on changing, but for the better. As you said, taking into consideration the customer preferences, the customer insights, so they can actually be suitable for what the customer needs. And for that, I will give space for Sanaa to give her intake on the question.
Sure, sure. Uh, Actually, while Siham and Habiba were talking, I was reflecting on some uh, let's say an experience that I had before, because I enjoy participating in hackathons and everything since I have a tech background. And it's crazy how young people started or are more into uh, coming up with innovative ideas and turning those into businesses. And this is actually an answer in itself. It is a very competitive landscape, and if you are not innovative, if you do not have an innovative idea, I'm pretty sure, even if you have a good management system or a good team working with you, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna get so far because your idea is not new or it's not innovative. So innovation is literally not just a choice today; it is a necessity.
Amazing. I wouldn't agree more again with you, Sana. I mean, as you said, youth these days are all about innovation and all about bringing their ideas to life. And indeed, it is a competitive landscape. Now we're gonna move on to another question, and we're gonna go back now to Miss Siham for a question that is more about data. So, Miss Siham, can you please illustrate how data-driven decision making has transformed brand innovation and, in turn, helped with accelerating business growth, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, basically, I think we know that we live in an era of abundance of data. We have data coming from everywhere. We have data on, the consumer behavior online, sometimes even offline, depending on the company. We know today with all this data and with analytics, with usage of analytics and predictive analytics, we are able to personalize, first of all, the experience of our consumers. So this is a very important thing today. As Sad was talking earlier, we can put a name and age and segmentation on the person further than, his demographic segmentation. We can go into his behavior, his attitudes, etc. It allows us as well to have real-time feedback. So when we have real-time feedback, we can actually see what this innovation means for our consumers and what works and what doesn't work, and quickly and in an agile way adapt our innovation to based on the consumer feedback. It allows us as well to have informed decision making, which means what we're talking about. Today we know what our clients want. We need to know as well with this data what they prefer, what are the context as well of the usage of our products, the context of the life of our consumers, to enable us to get to extract strong and powerful insights that will help us make proper decisions. It helps us as well. This abundance of data helps us identify trends. Again, analytics today is a big or I'll say a strong tool that companies should be using and should be abusing. Let's if I might use the word, to be able to actually identify trends in consumer behavior and consumer attitudes. It also, and this is very important, reduces the risk, because what usually happened earlier is that people, companies or brands would spend a lot of money in developing a concept and developing a product, and then they will only test it at the end of the process. While now, with all this data, with all this analytics and all the let's say the data-driven decision making, we are able to develop concepts and test them at an early stage, and do some A/B testing at a very cheap cost. It also help us optimize marketing spend, because today we can tell which dollar brings what. more or less, but in general. So we can say that this action is working, and we can say this is where we need to spend our money. And of course, it gives us the competitive edge. It's, with the data-driven culture, we are able to be at the edge and, always be the leader and innovate faster than the competition.
Definitely. I mean, I wouldn't add nothing on what you just mentioned, because actually, as we know, there's a code that says everything in God we trust, else all else needs to bring data. If I see it otherwise, so actually at this point, everything works with data. And as you already mentioned, let's say we get data, so we can use them in our, decisions, etc. But also we need context, as you already mentioned, and with that we can actually create a proper decision that is data informed and data driven, so we can actually move forward with our innovations. And speaking of customers and their data and etc., I'm gonna move to the next question with Ms. Habiba, which is, in your opinion, what strategies do you find most effective for aligning brand innovation with evolving customer preferences, saying that actually got them from data, resulting in sustained business growth?
Um, Yes, well, we say that we need to be very data driven and customer centric. So every company today should have this kind of agile mindset and culture, and always listen read the data, and have everything in place to have the best tools to track all the data at Avito. We've had many tools to track data, from market research, or classical market research, in order to deep dive into users' motivation, to everything that is tracked online: conversions, user journey, brand awareness, brand preferences, brand attribution. So you need to have a lot of dashboards, and to very listen and follow very carefully as well all those data, because when we have a lot of data, the idea also is to how to interpret it and how to use it efficiently. So we've had a data scientist and data analytics team that helped us. Also in marketing, we've had our all every team, even if we have to work in a cross-functional collaboration, we need to be all aligned on the same KPIs or the same objectives, and to have clear objectives and vision and KPIs, to be sure that we are all tracking the same things. I give you an example. In marketing at Avito, we were tracking a certain group of KPIs, and at the product and development teams, they were tracking other KPIs. And when there was an issue on the product or and at the customers, let's say the revenues or any other issues, from where the problems come from. Is it from acquisition performance, or other KPIs that are tracked by the marketing? Is it a user trend that we missed, or is it a problem of the product? So all this data-driven, let's say, mindset and culture in the companies need a real governance, to align indeed the customer's preference, and read correctly this data to have the right strategy, and to adapt and adjust all the time, because it's a constant loop that we need to adapt constantly.
Amazing. I mean, starting with Ms. Siham, we talked about data and how it is relevant, and we talked about how we need to govern this data and translate it in the best way possible, so we can come with strategies that gonna align with our brand innovation. And I mean, it will never be clearer than that. And such we can make stuff more interesting. We're gonna move to the practical side, kind of, with Ms. Sana. We're gonna talk about how from agency side. So the questions from Ms. Sana is as following. Could you please explain how your agency's internal processes support development, execution, and successful brand innovation initiatives for our clients? Taking consideration that we already got the data, already created strategies, etc., etc. Just now about the practical side of it. So yeah, space is your Sana. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Actually, our agency's internal processes is like any agency's internal processes. What differs is how we support brand innovation in every step of the way. Let's say you are a small coffee shop owner and you want to rebrand your current brand. You're looking for innovation, and the goal is to attract more customers. Let's say you decide to hire a branding agency to do that for you. First, like any other agency, you would go into the initial meeting, and this is where, let's say, we discover that you want to create a cozy atmosphere, very welcoming atmosphere for your clients. Later, we jump into the market research where we try to, let's say, search for your competitors and like discover what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, maybe something we can use in our favor. And later on, we jump into developing the whole strategy. That's of course based on data, again based on what we got from the market research and everything. We develop a strategy. This is where we propose rebranding the coffee shop and in very innovative ways, but also we make sure to actually follow what you have told us in the discovery call, because that's where exactly where we know your values, we know the mission you stand for, or you are after. And after the strategy development, maybe there is this thing that we do that might differ from other agencies. It's a space that we call a creative space. This is where we brainstorm ideas, but only innovative ones, only creative ones. We keep the basic ideas away, and we come up with everything together, highlighting, of course, your coffee shop. Later on, we jump into the design and content part and everything that we developed in the strategy. So um, we jump into making the thing or applying the strategy. Uh, of course, we go through testing because we need to know before launching anything. We need to invite you as a coffee shop owner, invite you to see maybe the new look and gather your feedback on any visual things, and also the message that you want to convey. Is it really the one you want to, or is it something else? So we base our work on what our client wants in the first place, and we add innovation to it, because as we said before, it's a must in this digital era. And that's where we start implementing the comments or any adjustment that we need to make on the whole branding strategy. uh, and of course, after that, we apply that and we try to keep on measuring things. So over, let's say, a few months, we try to track the shop's performance, and if we notice anything, there is always this communication between the client and us. So we try to highlight things, maybe improvement if it's needed. And summing up everything, it's all about client collaboration. So the more you click to that person or to that client, the more or the better or the more innovative you come up with ideas to his own coffee shop. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Sana, for your what you explained. I mean, it's very clear how it goes through the process or the intro process you have within your agency, starting from market research, then having all the information governed and going through and selecting actually what the client needs. Of course, adhering to that, and that's what matters the most. Then moving further and testing all creating strategies. After that, testing all what you have, so you can actually deliver the brand that your client is needing, or the innovation you can add to his actual brand. And that's actually how we can actually keep on working on a innovation or an idea or an elevation, if I may say, of an actual brand further into making it a success for the client as a whole. And just speaking of the same thing, I'm just gonna move to the next questions, and it's for Mr. Ham. And it is merely about, again, data, but now we're talking about impact. And the question is as follow. So what kind of challenges the organizations commonly encounter when using data to measure the impact of a brand innovation, and how we can actually surmount this kind of challenges?
Well, basically, I want to start with a very basic point is that actually there isn't one innovation. There is several types of innovation. There is renovation, there is incremental innovation, there is disruptive innovation, there is sustainable innovation, there is process innovation, consumer experience innovation, etc., etc. So one of the key challenges is that what some of the clients or some of the brands would do is that they actually would be using the same KPIs for different innovation types. So that is one of the key challenges. We need to make sure that we use the right KPIs for the right innovation. So let me give you an example. For example, if we are doing an innovation to increase our awareness, and we can do that, we have no objective behind it of volumes. We just want to increase our awareness and our equity. So in that case, we need to put specific set of KPIs to follow, to make sure that to measure that the impact is good. It can be, the number of visits we had on the web traffic we had and the visits we had in our website. It can be the interactions with our social media, but it also needs to be a KPI about our brand awareness and top of mind, about our brand equity. Now, if the innovation is with an objective of increasing sales or volumes, in that case, we need to put in place KPIs like the clicks, like the conversion, and like the sales. So it depends actually on which innovation and what the objective of the innovation. We set the right set of KPIs. That's one challenge. The second challenge is, unfortunately, in Morocco, what I've noticed is that the insight culture is very weak. The data, let's say data and insight culture is very weak. Usually what brands would do would just, think of an innovation because they like it, because the people around the table on the board like it, or the wife of the CEO loves a new perfume and then he wants to put it in their product. And this happens, and this happened a lot, actually. They will launch the product without actually consulting the people who are going to be using it. I've seen like a product that is normally targeted to the mass market with an ingredient, very specific ingredient, because the wife of the CEO loves that ingredient and thinks it's trendy, she's premium, and they will launch that and no one will buy that, and they will not understand why no one is buying it while it's trendy among higher SECs. That's an example. A third challenge, which is quite funny, because many companies today suffer not from lack of data, but of abundance of data. There is so much data around them, so much information about them around them, but they don't know how to use it. They don't know what to use. What are the tools to, extract the proper insights from that data to make, informed decisions that will help them grow their brands. So basically, these are the three challenges I can think of as of now. There are, of course, others, but these are the main ones that I encounter with my clients in the Moroccan market.
All right, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Ms. Siham, for all what you mentioned. Actually, as you mentioned, first thing that we need to do is to define what kind of innovation we're gonna be doing. That's the most thing I need to highlight first, because it depends on what kind of innovation we're doing, so we can actually define how we're gonna organize the data coming, so we can use that for that matter. moving further, as you mentioned, the culture in Morocco is actually kind of terrible when it comes to ski insights and all that is actually using that. And for the challenges you mentioned, are all actually some that we lived already, whether within our organizations or even we're just trying to build something for our own. And just we can get out of the room of all that is challenges and something that's going to defy us. I'm going to move to the next question with Ms. Habiba. There is about a success story or how they surmounted some challenges into building a long-term brand innovation that's actually got a company or the business itself into the goal or the kind of growth they were aiming for somehow. So the question is you have any kind of case study in mind or a personal success story that we can actually show how actually long-term brand innovation effort led to a significant sustainable business growth?
Um, yes, well, I had the chance to work with international companies where brand innovation were at the heart of their strategy, meaning the big international companies like Coca-Cola or Pernod Ricard or every FMCG in general put the innovation in order to stay at the top in terms of leadership and also in terms of top of mind. So in FMCG, the innovation comes from products innovation, different format innovation, matching the trends of consumers and evolving with the trends. But at Avito, for example, if I can talk about another sector or tech company, we were tracking a lot of data, doing a lot of research. And from that, we were testing a lot. I think the test and learn is also something that we need to value, especially when it's a tech platform. And we need also to measure the impact of those testings. So we were testing a lot of new user experience, new features, new offers. We have experience extending to new markets, for example, in real estate. So having all the new real estate, the promoters, clients that we didn't have before, having new partnerships with vehicles expertise companies or doing door-to-door delivery features. Also, we've had tested many new innovation, let's say, and from those testing, we were measuring the results based also on the objective that we have set before, and from that we decided what feature and what innovation we should keep, and because it will be more beneficial for growth and return on investments. So yes, from the two parts, we have the FMCG brand where I have worked, where communication also, we were a lot innovating in terms of communication to stand out and to stay on top of mind, because innovation can also comes from communication, but also from the products. And from Avito's side, which is a platform, a tech platform, the innovation came a lot from testing and measuring the impacts and the results of those tests.
Amazing. I mean, just speaking of Avito as the last point that you mentioned, it's shown that it was, an everlasting kind of development on the platform and how they actually start on adapting to whatever they've been put into, and also other actual, examples that you provided. And I mean, it's all very clear and very good point. I guess we have comments on the chat that's mentioned from Muhammad. He says that I'm gonna just show the comment here for a sec. He says, I think establishing personal and good relationships with clients is key to make them accept innovative ideas. Thus, it should be appear as an advantage to them rather than an experience, which is, I think, it's the most relatable thing based on what or has been said by Ms. Habiba, also Ms. Siham. And just so I can now move on further, I'm just gonna give space to Sana for another question, so we can move further. All right. So for Sana, the question is as follow: which key performance metrics does your agency internally track to gauge the success of brand innovation initiatives? Just following up on what Ms. Habiba said.
Well, as Habiba and Siham said earlier, there are let's say not you there are, but there are there are very different types of innovation. It depends on what we're talking about, because uh, if we're talking about a certain innovation, we're gonna be measuring certain KPIs or key metrics. But I'm just gonna say this is a, a general brand innovation, and I'm gonna mention some of the most common key performance metrics that we track in each type of innovation. I would say first there is the brand awareness. We need to measure how well the target audience deja recognizes the brand, and this can include like tracking metrics such as like how much someone recalls a brand, also the website traffic, as Siham said earlier, and social media mentions. uh, it can be anything, it can be a lot of things. So but in general there is this key metric, which is the brand awareness. And one of the things that we do in our agencies, that we also track the social impact of a certain client. So because one of our values at agency 99 is being there for NGOs, and being or contributing to the social to a social responsibility, we also track metrics related to social impact. If the client was involved in any charity contribution or any community engagement levels, that's also part of how innovative and how inclusive a brand is. There is also a lot of things that we also make or create, like surveys, like brand health surveys. Periodically, we try to conduct brand health surveys to gather feedbacks from customers and stakeholders on their perception or how they see the brand. That helps us innovate or give more creative or innovative ideas to the brand itself or the client.
All right, amazing, amazing. Thank you, Sam, for what you mentioned. As you mentioned, one of the main key metrics that we care about is brand awareness, but also what's matters me the most is tracking those key social impacts and how actually your agency track that with your clients, so you can see if their work is only going to impact their business and their growth, etc., etc., impacts their clients also, but also impact the community and society as a whole, which is something very interesting to include as a metric to track. And by the way, the time is running out of we're running out of time. So for that matter, we're gonna move directly to the last questions. But before that, I'm just gonna add one question from the audience. There is about market research. So I would like to give you the question so we can answer it. The question says, if we did our market research and we found out that our target market isn't ready to accept our innovation or our new product concept, should we continue and trust our instincts or not? So, Miss Siham, what do you think about this?
This is actually a very good question. It's a very tricky question because what I can say, basically, if the question was like we've asked the respondents and we've asked the market, and they didn't give us, what they needed or what they wanted, I would say that's normal. The consumers never will never tell you what they really want. You will need to have some empathy and embed yourself within the consumer's life to make sure, to identify those pain points that they even don't know they have them. Sometimes, like for like when we see the new innovations of Apple, for example, when we see the new phones they bring into the market, usually they bring in some features that we have never thought we needed them. So As I said, this is a very tricky question because it can be in two sides. It depends. It depends on the context. It depends on how ready the market is for your product. We know that 90% of startups fail today. And the main reason they fail is because the product is not a fit with the consumer's need or the people's need, or the market is not yet ready for that product. So probably can be a good idea to continue or trust the instant, but be prepared that it can be a failure if market is ready for it. So there are, innovations that came in earlier. I don't recall any exactly, but I had examples that didn't work. And 10 years later, someone come up with similar thing and it worked perfectly because the market has become ready for it. So we need to make sure the market is ready for our innovation. So yeah, you want to trust your instinct. I'm the type of person who say, do it anyways, but keep your expenditures low. Don't spend a lot of money on it. Try to adapt it as much as you can so that it can be accepted now and today.
Amazing. I mean, if I can take something from what Ms. Siham said, is it takes persistence and consistency on continuing on what you're doing, but also being smart about it, so you can actually see where that may go. Otherwise, I hope Ms. Siham answered your question. I mean, amazing. He thanks you for your question. Just so we can move on our space within the time that we have, I'm gonna move on to the last questions. And which is as follow. I hope you can see my screen. Not this one, which is this one. Yes. Just to close the space and move forward with the last questions. Looking forward talking about the future and how we can still work on all that is brand innovation and how it's going to impact our business growth, but also making sure that we are measuring the best way possible so we can ensure the whole continuity of brand and what are our goals out of it, etc. So looking for what single factor do you believe will have the most significant influence on the relationship between brand innovation and business growth as we move forward? It's a question for all the panelists, by the way. So whomever feels like ready to answer, feel free.
I can answer this. If I have
Amazing.
one thing, to me, it's understanding human. At the end of the day, all the innovations are done for people, from people to people. And when I say understanding human, and I didn't say understand customers, because we need to understand our internal teams who are working on the products. We need to understand, the prescriptors. We need to understand those who will consume it, those who will decide on the purchase. So we need to understand human. We need to make sure that we put the human at the center of our strategy. I won't say data driven, but I will say human driven innovation. That's the key, because and the human are looking always for novelty. We were created to get bored with what we have and look for novelty. So for brands to continue growing, they need to make sure they are keeping up with this desire of novelty.
Amazing. I mean, we already talked about human-centric experiences, so on and so forth, with Saad earlier, and now we are mentioning again that we need to be human-driven, and I mean that's the right way to go about it. لا محالة, as we say in Arabic, and we'll just give space to Miss Habiba if you wanna add any points about that.
Yeah, I totally agree with the Siham. We talked about the fact that we need to be consumer centric, so it's really the basic for this. But I would add to that, to always stay on top of the trends, always stay on top of the innovation. Things are evolving very fast. So I mean, for those who are working on innovation, or who are working on brands and are creatives, just dare to be bold. Usually, we always try to do the same things and we copy others because it's the safety zone. So maybe we need to go from this zone and to think outside the box and to dare to be bold. And I think we are very scared about what the client will say and what the client will accept. But I really value the co-creation with the clients. I really value the fact that it's a mutual partnership. And when they are convinced and they understand how this innovation in terms of creativity will bring them this business growth and will and to a business growth, they are willing to listen and willing to test new things. So now with the artificial intelligence, with all these things that we are seeing and completely shaking our beliefs, we need to be really on top of everything that's happened and test and create new things and yeah, dare to be bold.
Amazing. I mean, we started from human driven to actually co-creating with our customers because at the end they are the ones gonna be using our products or whatever innovation you're gonna put out there. So we need to be part of it and also being on top of trends so we can, push forward and just move further as we can go. And just so I can give space to Miss Sana to add any point that she maybe have. Go Sana.
Sure. Well, I agree with Siham and Habiba in literally everything they have said. We need to be human first. We need to understand how human beings behave. And that takes us to a very important subject, which is literally psychology and neuroscience. Understanding how people think or how people, I don't know the word in English, but interpret things is very important. I have read a book lately. Can't remember the name, but it was about it. It explained exactly how a human being interprets an image or a forma or something, anything like how the eye see, how the brain gets the image, how that is linked to design also, and how people are now more aware, or designers are more aware of this part, because understanding the psychology of consumer behavior, or how a human being behaves, is a very growing area of interest these days with the digital era and everything. Um, this is something that businesses started implementing to crafting more persuasive branding strategies, and it's really amazing. We're talking about big brands like Apple and Samsung and so on. So it's really amazing. Plus, there is also this huge thing that I believe is the most significant as well. It's data. Everything that is data. We should be more data driven, and we should also understand that consumers are people. When they give you their data, they expect that data to be secured, so that we jump into the cybersecurity and data privacy topic. And as you know, technology advances, and we need to ensure that the security of the consumer data, and we need to make sure that we're respecting the privacy of this. And as you know, this is really interesting if we want to keep a sustainable growth. I think Derar is frozen because of some internet issues. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I believe he's joining back. But again, as I said, two things: psychology and data. Anything that goes around data. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sana. We said we started with, and now we need to be human driven. We talked about trends, stay on top of them, and most importantly, test and test and test again, as Ms. Habiba said, and move into all that is psychology and technology once again. I mean, these are the points that's going to be the main factors in driving innovation, brand innovation towards business that is actually profitable or into growth. I'm just going to add some comments that has been mentioned by the audience. Khalil mentioned that he would suggest that we should be taken to market insights, hard, soft data, not emotions. But also, I would add to this, we need to take also the context of HG so we get it. This way, we can keep on driving it in the right way possible. Rather than this, we have Muhammad Amin saying communications and KPIs are a strong factor. Never stop measuring. I wouldn't put it in better way. I mean, it's all about being human centric, being human driven, train and again and again with keeping on measurements. Because if we don't measure, where are we going? I mean, where's gonna be leading? I mean, okay, let's say we have this kind of brand innovation, whatever it can be. I mean, we have many types. We implement it. We have a strategy. We have everything in place. We went into execution more further, how are we gonna know if we're actually achieving our goal? Are we actually being profitable? Are we actually growing? So with that being said, thank you for being part of this panel and for the audience for attending. It has been a very amazing session. I learned a lot through it, and I have to thank here Miss Siham, Miss Habiba, and Miss Sanam. And I will give you space for a last word that you may want to say to the audience about the topic or in general, and I'm gonna space is yours. Whomever from you wanna go forward, space is yours. So Libra. I mean, Miss Sana, Miss Siham, Miss Habiba, space is yours.
Go ahead, Siham.
Yeah, well, basically, thank you so much for this invite. I'm very happy to be with this beautiful panel, Women Power panel. I'm very happy to meet Sana and Habiba. Probably will take it forward later on. Uh, what I would just say as an end word, again, I think the world is changing. We as people who are decision makers, or we as people who are on the marketing, need to change. We need to put the innovation in the heart of our work. Branding cannot be separated today from innovation. Uh, Innovation is the key and the only way we can grow, but also we can survive. We don't want to be the Kodak of our category.
I
Amazing,
will,
ladies. Yes. Go on, go forward, Miss Habiba.
yes, just to jump on what Siham said and congratulate you guys for this great initiative, really, and very well executed. I mean, I was hesitating on participating to this event, but when I saw the way and how you have orchestrated all the communication and the excellence in terms of execution, and you really I have always believed that in Morocco we have great creative minds and innovative minds, and I see this in the community you have gathered in these events, and really just keep creating, keep innovating, and believe that yes, things don't do the same, and we are always looking for great minds and great creatives, and I'm very happy to have been among this great panel today. Thank you.
We are happier to have you with us, Miss Habiba. Yes, Miss Sana, you wanna add something?
Sure. It's a pleasure to emit, as Siam said, to emit Siam and Habiba. Probably one day we might have this panel in real life. Why not? But thanks to technology, we can have that anytime. We just need the data or internet. So it's really amazing to see women, like Moroccan women, powerful women, thriving in this world. And literally, I am speaking as a Google Women Tech Makers ambassador, and what I do is literally empower women to to be more present in the tech world, and actually, Habiba said earlier, to be bold or dare to be bold. So I'm really happy. You can see it from my smile, my white smile. I'm really happy to be with you, and I hope we had more time to extend this panel. But time is really the enemy here. But inshallah, we will be extending that, inshallah. So thank you so much for accepting our invite.
Amazing. Once again, I'm very happy to have facilitated this panel. I'm very happy to have with us Ms. Habiba, Ms. Siham once again, and Ms. Sanaa. And I cannot wait to have this space, as Sanaa said, another day, inshallah. And thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for being part of Brand Excellence. You truly showed excellence through this panel, and I look forward to what we can do further with the whole community. Thank you once again, everyone, for attending. Thank you for being part of this panel. Thank you to the audience. And that's it. That was it. Thank you so much.